The Aaronic blessing is after the Nazirite vow, the vow under the Torah of Nazir. And that is one chapter closed. And with this, God, you notice it's always God speaking. God spoke to Moses and he says, speak to Aaron and his sons. And this is very specific. It is to the priesthood. One of the things that we need to understand is that God looks at the nation of Israel as a holy nation, as a nation of priests. And by nation of priests, it means that there is a segment of the people that represents the people to deal with God in all the rituals. And not only the rituals, you need to understand that the role of the priest is also to teach the people and to bless the people, to pronounce good things. And so this section here is about the goodness that God wants to give to the people of Israel. And so we'll spend some time to go through this in a bit of detail. It says here, speak to Aaron and his sons. Remember, his sons will be the priests, saying, and it says this, this is the way. And the word "this is the way" means, how should you say, this manner. This manner, this is the manner. This is actually one word, right? In this manner, you shall bless the children of Israel. Now, again, let me just clarify the idea of blessing. This word here is the word barak, and it's in the intense form. It's also called baruch, came from the word barak, and this is the way in English it says, you shall bless the children of Israel. So you must understand the idea of bless is a pronouncement. A pronouncement of good words, right? And basically it is to wish well, right? To wish well. When you wish someone well, it literally means you are blessing the person. You are giving a blessing upon the person. Now, obviously, the opposite will be true when you pronounce something bad, something evil, something that's not nice, something that that person will think that you are being nasty to them. That would be curse. And so it's all about a pronouncement. There is nothing magical about blessing and cursing, except that the person who hears these words will either be encouraged in the positive way or discouraged in a negative way. And so this is the Hebrew concept. Now, in modern day, of course, when you say bless, we expect things to happen when say God is going to bless you. And so you expect, things to come out of wondrous, miraculous states. But that's not how the Bible presents blessing, and neither cursing. So understand this idea of blessing in what we call the Aaronic blessing. It's the priest pronouncing it. So it's not just any Tom, Dick, and Harry. They don't go around blessing each other using these words. Why? Because as a nation of priests, the priest takes care of all the religious activities, right? The religious tasks, the religious motions, the teaching of religious matters. Every religion, pagan or otherwise, will have priests. And the priest becomes very powerful in pagan rites. But in God's terminology of priests, it is God who decided who should be priest. Number one. Number two, God decides the role of the priest. And so it's not the people giving authority to the priest. It's God telling the priest what you can and cannot do, and how you should bless, because this is the way where if they express the blessing, it is as if God is blessing. That's the concept of the priesthood giving the blessing. All right. And so this is the way the priest should bless. You means Aaron and his son. So know the pronouns. Bless who? The children of Israel. Why? Because the children of Israel has God as their God. And so everyone who believes in God expects and anticipates blessings from God. The pagans will expect it from their God, and so would the children of Israel expect it from Jehovah, their God, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And in this priestly blessing, I think we need now to break down the Hebrew context. So let's begin. First of all, note all the one who is a source of blessing. So look at these words: the Lord, the Lord, the Lord. All right. So now we can say that the Lord is the source of blessing. And so this is an acknowledgement of who God really is. And you don't want blessings from, well, I guess we want blessings from our friends and family, because when something nice is heard from them, it encourages us and soothes us. Not that it can materialize and become real. The only time that it can materialize and become real is when it's wished upon them by God. And so blessing is well wishes, right? Wish well, good wishes, good words. And so what does God say here? This is how you should do it. And it is to you, right? To you. Who is you? Keep you. And that would be Aaron. That would be the children of Israel, right? That's the target. So it is as if the priest acts on behalf of God to say these words at specific times. All right, so we now know two things. Now let's look at all the verbs and adjectives. The verbs and adjectives work this way. The first word is bless. The word bless literally means to kneel. In the old days, the person who blesses is the person who bends the knee. Bends the knee. That is a very visual imagery of blessing. And so remember, Hebrew words are all very vivid, very action-oriented, very concrete. And so the idea of blessing is not just to move the lips, but to bend the knees and say, the Lord bless you. The Lord bends his knees to you. And in that sense, it is not to bend in humility. It is to bend as a symbol of blessing. And that's ancient. So ancient English way does the same. European way is all the same, right? The second one, to keep you, to guard you, to keep watch over you. Isn't that nice words? That God is going to watch over you. That's what it means by keep. And the word here is shamar. And now the other one is that God will make his face shine upon you. I think you would see that the word make shine is this word here. right? So you say make shine. Make shine is uh to to be bright, right? To be bright. Now in English, whenever you say may your days be merry and bright, it means that may your day be great, be uplifting, be an encouragement, be happy. So that's the word bright. And so when God's face is bright, and it is bright, uh, and then the word here is towards you. And so it's like saying God's face is shining upon you. And so understand that God's face is like the sun. It's a source of light. Its brightness may shine on you. It's really to talk about goodness. And yeah, goodness. And that's what it means by make shine. And his face is the one that man or mortal man cannot see. And so when you say let his face shine on you, it's not literally, but figuratively and with the imagery that you have the sun, the God's face being like the sun shining on you. May it be bright. Everything is good. Now the next phrase here says this, and be gracious to you. The word gracious is hen, right? Hen means show grace or favor. Show grace or favor to you. And so now you have an A and a B, right? Why an A and a B? Because when his face shine on you, there is warmth, there is goodness, there is tranquility. That God is looking upon you. And thereby that signifies grace. That there is grace in the eyes of God. Now, in Genesis chapter 6, right, Noah found grace in the eyes of God because he walked right and just before God. And so whenever you say, may the Lord make his face shine upon you and be gracious or show you favor, it is also to tell you that you should live. Let me use another color. You should live right before God. And when you live right before God, right and just and upright, God's face will definitely shine upon you. You see, all these words are conditional upon in normal circumstances. Now, if you happen to go around rebelling and sinning, and you say, may the Lord make his face shine upon you, it has no meaning. Because God cannot be gracious upon one who is rebelling against him. That's what it means, right? Let's look at verse 26. The Lord lift up his face. Now, the word countenance is face. And now you understand why this is face. And this is face. Same word. These are the same words. Face, countenance. English just don't like to have the same words repeated. Now, what does lift up actually mean? The idea of lifting up is to well, I would say bear you up, right? Bear up, lift up, pardon. That is also another word for lifting up, to carry off, to forgive. So may the Lord, through his face, right, to his face, to you or towards you. And so when God looks upon you, may he pardon you, right? May he pardon you. So when God's face is lifted on you, it is about forgiveness. And may you receive forgiveness from God. And that's basically how you say that. Now, obviously, you cannot say forgiveness just and while you are in rebellion against God and you don't care, you walk away. None of these words would matter, isn't it? So as a pronouncement is just words. And so it is words under normal circumstances, because may God give. Now, the word give is not really give, unfortunately. But in English, we always say give. We would say that may God put in place, right? Put in place or lay upon you, establish peace. And by peace, we all know this word, shalom. Now understand, shalom is when all debts are paid, completed, which means shalem, right? Redeemed. So now you can see that here we have an A and a B. That lifting up his countenance upon you is the same as giving you peace. Shalom is when all your debts are forgiven, when all your debts have been repaid, when you have been brought back to the original state, when you have performed shalom. Therefore, you have shalom. And so verse 26 is another A and B. Verse 25 is another A and B. And so how does God bless you and watch over you to make sure that you are walking right with God? You need to maintain your life right with God, and God's goodness will be upon us in terms of grace, favor, warmth, protection, forgiveness, pardon, peace. All of these are good favors, are good words. They are good blessings, but only with the assumption and the condition that everything is under normal circumstances. Meaning, the children of Israel is actually walking before God, right? So we come to the conclusion. The conclusion is, so. The word so shall they put my name. The word put is it's well, I guess it's the same word as this word here, right? This word and this word is the same word. And so they shall establish, how else should we describe this? You shall well, I guess you shall appoint, you shall commit, right? Commit my shem, my character, my name, right? God's name is God's character, reflective of that as well, not just a terminology reference. And then this word is on. The word on is upon. It also means how should we say, upon, yeah, I guess upon is good. and put my name upon the children of Israel, right? Upon them, as they walk right before the Lord. And then I will bless them. And so when you say they shall, they would be, let me use back the same color code. They would be the children of Israel. My name would be God's name, right? Upon the children of Israel. Sorry, they is the priests, right? Will put upon the children of Israel, and God himself will bless them. Why would God bless them? Is it because the priests said these words? First of all, let me take one step back, and we're running out of time. This Aaronic or priestly blessing is not a magic potion. The nation of Israel is not given a magic word. The nation of Israel is given the priestly blessing for one fundamental purpose: to walk right before God and to always remember who God is before them. He is the source of their life. He's the source of blessing. Has a particular character that the children of Israel needs to reflect. And only then will God bless. And when God bless them, God will forgive them. God will be gracious towards them and grant them rain, will give them bountiful supply, harvest, fruits, so that they will continue to remember God, bring their first fruits, bring the offering. And that in itself is the ecosystem. God with the children of Israel, you would see that they are to walk right before God, and then God will bless them. You notice, God doesn't bless them when they are not right before God. God will only bless them under the normal state of affairs, walking right before God. Otherwise, these words are hollow. They are just a pronouncement, but it has an intent to keep God's character in their faces, so that they will always remember who God is and how they are to live. And with this, we come to the end of our session today.